Number 4, in the 1960s, all young men, now this was an obligation, my dad had to do this, all young men had to do military service. Yeah, and this just means that young men had no choice. They had to dress up in uniforms and salute, yeah, and then run out onto the battlefield when they were told to and sacrifice their lives for somebody else's gain. But yeah, in the 1960s, all young men had to do military service. This was true in the UK, and I can't use must, I can't use have got to, because neither of those have a past form. But have to has had to, so I need to use had to. In the 1960s, all young men had to do military service, sadly. Okay, number 5. The museum was completely free, so there was no obligation to pay. We didn't need to pay. We needn't pay. We didn't have to pay. But I've got to put it into past tense because it's in the past. So I've got to use didn't have to, or didn't need to. Yeah, so we didn't have to pay, we didn't need to pay. So we needn't pay. Don't use needn't actually, because needn't isn't for the past. It's just for the present, needn't. You needn't do that next week. Maybe for the future, but not the past, yeah? For the past, there's a needn't have done, and we'll look at that in another class, because that's more complicated than needn't. It's not exactly the same. Okay, so the museum was completely free, so we didn't have to pay, we didn't need to pay. There was no obligation to pay. Number 6, do you think you should, saying it already, you should, yeah, it is should. Do you think you should kiss people on both cheeks when you greet them? And greet means meet somebody, you know, a greeting is how you greet somebody. Do you hug them? Do you kiss them on both cheeks? Do you shake their hands? Yeah, shake hands. That's what I usually do. Shake hands. So what do you think you should do? Do you think people should kiss each other on the cheeks when they greet each other? What do you think people should do? And we use should here because really we're talking about manners, aren't we? We're talking about what you think is a good idea for people to do, how you think people should behave, what manners they should have, and what behaviour they should have. So do you think you should kiss people on both cheeks when you greet them? Yeah, do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea? Use should for manners, and this is certainly a question of manners. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, people